Let's go ahead and start our post-race for the 5th annual Spongebob Squarepants 400 tonight at Kansas Speedway. And certainly it was quite the day, afternoon, evening. And we appreciate all the fans obviously staying here. We've got two of our competitors, our race runner-ups, Kevin Harvick. He drives the number 4 Jimmy John's Budweiser Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. And then also with another strong effort tonight, he's second in points, is Martin Truex Jr. He drives the number 78 Furniture Row Visser Precision Chevrolet. And I'll start first with you, Martin. Certainly you were running up front a good bit of the evening, and probably pretty disappointed right now you couldn't get that W, but just talk about your performance out there here today.
Yeah, definitely, not the finish we wanted, obviously, but proud of the guys for the weekend we had. Just had good speed all weekend, brought a brand new car here, and, just proud of that. I mean, it's kind of, disappointing, but, at the same time, proud of the way we ran, and I think it's something we can build off of. So felt like we were in a, decent position there towards the end. Really hate when it comes down to fuel miles. It seems like I'm always on the wrong end of that deal, but really wishing we could have raced Kevin for it there. I know we were both saving gas, and then it seemed like about 10 to go, we were both going to hammer down. It would have been fun to see if we could have had anything for him. But all in all, hard to be disappointed with how we ran, just disappointed in the outcome and the finish. But, again, the guys have really done a great job, and this is something we can, moving forward, build on, and hopefully we'll be in position to win some races this year.
Thank you, Martin. And Kevin, I believe this is your 8th top 2 finish of the season. Certainly running strong there, tail end of that race, and leading the race there before that last caution came in. Maybe just talk about how your car got better throughout the evening, and then maybe how things just unfolded there the last few laps.
Yeah, we were just off compared to the 78 there at the beginning of the race, and just really couldn't get the handle on the car. And Rodney just made some great adjustments there under that green flag pit stop, and Packer in or out of the front, I don't remember what, and then 2 jack bolts in the rear and air pressure, and all in one stop, and the car really came to life. So they just did a great job. They put us in position to have a chance to win, and in the end, the 48-88 didn't have the speed, so they gambled, and they were able to get enough cars in between us that we were not able to have enough laps to get around them. So it's just kind of a tough spot as you're leading the race as to what's right and what's wrong, because half of them are going to stay in, and half of them are going to come in, and half of them are going to stay out.
We'll take a couple questions now. Any questions for Martin or Kevin? Anybody in here have a question? Brant James has one. Christy, if you could get him the mic, please.
Brant James, USA Today Sports. For Martin, I mean, obviously this one's disappointing, but does it feel like a win is close? I mean, do you take that away that, you're obviously in this all night and it comes down to a call late in the race?
Yeah, I think we're, obviously I think we're getting closer. We ran second in Vegas, but, we didn't quite have the speed compared to especially, Kevin there as we did this week, and I felt like we were more competitive this weekend than we've been. We've been, consistent, top 5 to top 10 car. I felt like tonight was we kind of gained a big step in speed, and hopefully that's something that'll continue. We brought a new car here this weekend, and it's kind of the newest and latest and greatest that we've come up with, and definitely feel like we closed that gap a little bit. We'll have to just wait and see if that plays out on other racetracks, but felt like, if we can keep doing that and keep finding little things here and there to try to close that gap and keep being consistent, putting ourselves in position, I feel like we can win some races. We've got a great team. We've got everything we need to do it, and we've got a lot of confidence. So just got to keep getting in that position and try to close the deal.
Go ahead here on the front row.
Hey, Kevin. Todd Palmer with the Kansas City Star. You obviously took the 2 tires, and it looked like you were able to, I think you restarted 4th. 6? Okay. But you were able to get up there and finally get around Junior there. Did you think that you were going to be able to finish that off with, I think you had 3 or 4 laps to go? And why do you think, Jimmy was so strong and you weren't able to get around him?
Yeah, he wasn't that strong. He was just, trying to run right in front of our car so that, for those first few laps when you're really pushing like that, it really takes the air off the front of the car and it gets the chatter in the front end and then snaps around. So, but that was the strategy that they took, and it worked out for them.
Other questions? Right here, Mark.
Mark Ashenfelder, ESPN.com. Martin, what can you and Cole learn from this one?
Well, that we should have either stayed out or took 2 tires. We probably did the worst thing you could have done there with, just staying out or just getting gas only, because we ended up being, the last guy with no tires. Everybody else behind us had 2, and they just ate us up on the restart. So if we'd have taken 2, we'd probably have come out 6th and would have been in a pretty good position. But all in all, I told Cole that, he still knew this. This is his first year calling races, and he's been, spot on all year long. He's taken gambles when he needed to, that paid off, and he's been smart when he's needed to. He's done everything right. And, tonight he just, he didn't make the right call. Sometimes, sometimes you don't always, make the right call. Sometimes the circumstances don't play out the way you think they will or whatever. So, hindsight's 20/20. He's done a great job this year calling races, like I said, and I just want to make sure that he doesn't get his confidence down because he's been so good at it. So live and learn. He'll learn from tonight and get better next time around. And he's doing a great job.
Go ahead, back front row.
Kevin, I wanted you and Jimmy had alternated, the last 6 race wins on 1.5 miles. So it was supposed to be your turn. Can you just speak to, are you mad that Jimmy broke the pattern on you? And why have you two been the cars to beat so consistently on those 1.5 miles, really since the fall race in Kansas last year?
Yeah, I'm not going to be mad. I've been on the other side of this deal where, the cars aren't running good and you don't have a chance to win. It's we won a championship on pit calls and tires, and everything fell our way. So, we've had a lot of things go our way, and we've had a lot of things work out, and running up front and having a chance to win is it's almost harder to win the races when you're leading races, because you got guys that are a little off pace, like the first 4 war that stayed out, hoping that they could get a good restart and get the clean air, and their car would hold on just long enough to get the win. So it's no frustration, just keep going at it.
Go back in the back. Get him the mic, please. And I believe they said tonight, Kevin, you've already led 1,000 laps this season. I don't think anybody's done that this quick since like 95 or something like that. So.
Yeah, it's hard to complain about that.
Kevin, Scott Trailer, Racing Boys. The track widened out real quick. Right at the beginning, we saw Kyle jump up there within like 10 laps. And right after the rain, everybody jumped right up there. Could you talk about the track and how it widened out and how it kept the rubber up there at the top? And how easy it was to get up there so soon in the race.
Yeah, the groove definitely spread out, and the hard part about that is when it does become the final groove, it'll become really hard to pass. But it definitely widened out right now. The cars are really edgy to drive. I'm glad to get Sunday off this week to rest up, because my shoulders are wore out from driving loose all night.
Any other questions for Kevin or Martin? One more question here, and we'll finish up right here.
Hey, Martin, Todd Palmer with Kansas City Star. Do you feel a little snake bit this track? You've run pretty well here, and it just
Yes.
It seems, yeah. Can you just talk? Why do you have that? Is this just an unlucky track for you?
Yes and no. It depends. It's been a good track because we've run well. I finished second here when I didn't have a second place car. I finished second here when I had the best car. Tonight I had probably one of the 3 best cars and finished 9th. So it's just, it comes down to the end of these things and anything can happen. Everybody kept asking me in the rain delay, well, how much pressure are you putting on yourself to win and all this? I'm like, listen, this is a long race. A lot can happen. And perfect example, the caution comes out when it shouldn't. And, we get put in a situation where we have to pit for some gas. And some guys stay out. So you never know in these races. There's so many guys that are competitive. There's so many guys that are on different plans, on different strategies. I can say I've never really been the luckiest guy in racing, but at the same time, I really like racing here and I enjoy the racetrack, and it's fun to be competitive.
Kevin and Martin, thank you for putting on a great show here tonight. We'll see you guys at Charlotte.